So help me understand this. Okay, so I'm on a little dating app, and I'm just chatting with people. And the way this dating app works, you can like post pictures and really chat and be involved with everyone. So men and women, we chat, and we can just talk about, they post like little questions or whatever, and everybody can, post in that. But it's also like a dating app. So this one guy, we have been chatting back and forth for a good little hot minute. He keeps going off the app and coming back on or whatever. And so he was like, first of all, I did a podcast on dating apps red flags, okay? Because they are so many. And I don't know if it's like red flags or pet peeves for me, right? But they're definitely pet peeves. But some of them are red flags, like dudes with no shirt on, shirtless photos, or that one photo that you can tell is dated like years ago, and they, for whatever reason, can't take a freaking selfie and put it on the app. Something is wrong with that. Those are like red flags. So this dude, I'm trying to do the voice messages, because you can literally do voice messages where you can hear each other's voice. You also have now the capability of doing like FaceTime, where you can see each other. So you don't have to immediately exchange phone numbers, but these dudes, for whatever reason, these are red flags for me. These dudes are acting as if they either can't use the voice message thing, whereas you're just using your microphone. I don't know if it's because of age, because I do have dudes like my age or older. So this one dude, he was like 52, and he was like, it's trying to tell me that it needs to access my microphone. So can we just exchange numbers? Okay, no. And maybe because of his age, maybe because he's like old or whatever. He doesn't understand. And I'm like, dude, I really don't know you. I'm not trying to give my telephone number out to multiple people. I don't even want to give my Google Voice number out to multiple people, because that is a such thing where you now have the capability of getting, you can do another whole telephone number. You're still using your device, but it's a totally different telephone number, and you're using Google Voice to either text and or make telephone calls, okay? Make telephone calls or get telephone calls. So I still don't even want to do that. I don't want to give multiple people my telephone number for what, if we're not even talking, if we don't have any type of chemistry. That's the whole point of you chatting and talking on the freaking app first, right? So most of these dudes, I'm just ending the chats. I don't want to talk to you. So this one dude, and he keeps saying shit that he thinks that is going to finesse me or whatever. And I find that a lot with these dudes. They'll be like, oh, I just want to make my woman happy. And I'm like, I'm asking him, what do you see yourself doing in the near future? He was like, I want to find a woman to make her happy and all of this. And I'm like immediately rolling my eyes. I mean, that could be true and all, but most of the time I think that they would say things to see if they can swoo a woman or whatever, or try to finesse. But it's not really conversation. It's not really an intellectual, communication with them. So I respond, define happiness. And he still cannot define that. He was like, oh, I just want to be happy and make my woman happy. And I'm like, that's not you defining happiness. What is making your woman happy? What does that mean? Exactly. And I was like, well, happiness, is a different reason for many different people. I mean, you have to know the woman. You have to literally communicate with the woman or communicate with the man to know what their happiness would mean to them, right? So you can't really just say that because you don't really know someone. I want to have more of an intellectual freaking conversation. And evidently there are so many that cannot hold an intellectual conversation at all, not even midway. And that's what I'm more attracted to is someone that can hold an intellectual conversation. Somewhat. Midway even. Okay, so then, you know, you have these dudes that give you the one-word answers, and you're writing all this shit and they give you these one-word answers, and you're trying to communicate with them. And then these are the same dudes that will post on their Facebook that the woman don't want to actually talk to them on the phone. They just want to text. But that's because you don't know what the fuck to say. You don't have anything to say. Why would I sit on the phone listening to your ass breathe? Or hear you say, okay, let's just meet, because you basically don't want to have an actual relationship, or you don't actually want to communicate with me. You want to screw someone. But they can't never be honest and or disdirect, because they are afraid they're not going to get any, which is so aggravating. So this one particular dude, you know, then he says, hey, how about we just exchange numbers? And I'm like, okay, I'll give him the Google Voice number or whatever. So, and I was like, sure, here's my number. I'm like, sure, why not? Here's my number. So instead of him calling me and or texting me saying, hey, this is, you know, such and such from such and such, I got your number. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know who you are. Instead of him texting me or calling me with the number that I've provided to him, because he stated, let's exchange numbers, he then messaged me on the app, giving me his telephone number and telling me to contact him, to text him. Text me whenever you can. And that is like one of my pet peeves. I don't know if it's a red flag, but it is definitely a pet peeve. Why are you asking to exchange numbers just for you to give me your telephone number after I give you my telephone number on the app still, instead of using my number and communicating with me and saying, hey, this is such and such, and you know, now you have my number. You're sending me a message on the app, giving me your telephone number and telling me to text you when I've already given you my telephone number, and you could have just texted me. And it's like these dudes, and it goes back to one of my other red flags or pet peeves, is that these dudes want their roles reversed, or they want, and it's not even like, let's not even say the roles are going to be reversed. It's just you taking the freaking initiative to just use my number, but instead you want me to call on you. You want me to seem like you want me to court you. I just do not understand these dudes, and these are dudes that are my age or older. And I do not, my patience run very thin, and I can't.